Oh, welcome back, my friends. It's a show that never ends. Corked Stats, second half, officially underway. Fastest freaking show in MLB. Absolutely anyway. It's your boy. All right, Big Johnny Stud coming to you worldwide as always. Coming out that damn chair as always. Throat feeling a little kind of swollen and scratchy. I'm going to try and just push through today. They got my rest. Yesterday was yesterday was like baseball betting in a fucking nutshell, right? Out of the box, looking fantastic, right? Yanks, they're up one after six. No, well, the Stros, they were up one after seven. No, Padres, they were up three in the 10th. Fuck me. Right? And then go figure, I went to sleep disgusted. Wake up, Detroit flips a script, and we ended up kind of stealing one late. The real kick in the ass, though, was that Yankees game. That Ben Rice double got us to hit and run Ribby pair plus 185, doing very well on those this season. But for some reason, I don't know, Grisham, like fucking looking back into the field and he got gunned down at home. Not that that would have been the winner, but it would have been nice to have been tied and see how we did in fucking extras. Anyway, enough of that bullshit. More of this. Best part of waking up. Pitching sheets in the mug. Just really quickly, if you were looking at these spreadsheets, okay, things just got a little, not messed up, they're just a little different than usual because the doubleheader, right, yesterday's Pittsburgh-Cleveland game got bumped to game one today. Just the way I do all the data, it gets bumped to the bottom. So some of the stuff starting at 3 and 4 with the offenses. So we just got to kind of deal with the doubleheader stuff sometimes. It can be really difficult on the fucking templates. Anyway, first up, Taj Mahal Bradley on the bump for the Twinks. I think I'm just going to do a board retime. I'm not going to make it. My voice is really giving up. Taj Bradley and the Twinks. They're plus 119 dogs on the road down in Wrigley to face the Boyd Boys and the Baby Bears. Oh, quick shout. How could I forget on the weekend? My weekend Warriors, B Rose Bay Bay, 216, man. Dude, and that under on the fucking Royals. What a kick in the ass, 3-3, what was it, 9? Holy shit, the nose knows. He knows. Trent, good to see you. And BE, of course, Mr. Elfring, one of our capo statuses up in here. Yeah, I think we might have a misprice right off the bat. I don't know. You win in baseball betting by betting fucking underdogs. You know what I'm saying? It's not madness, baby.
This is Sparta!
That's right. Baseball's version of 300. Give the book nothing. Take from that motherfucker everything. Yeah, I think Bradley has been good lately. I think that's always the hang up with him is the roller coaster ride that he'll take you on. But I think when he's going good, the getting is pretty fucking good. Last 30 days, Bradley's been as good as literally anybody. Boyd kind of struggling. He's been bad at home. Not that I'm really loving this stuff from Boyd anyway. When, he's working up with that fastball. It's not a good pitch. He throws it entirely too often. 91 stuff plus for 48 usage. That fucking dog. Don't hunt. The Twins' offense is like the iffy part. I was worried about them regressing in the second half. They came out of the box looking pretty good. I think they've hit lefties pretty well this year also. Remember, we're in a tough spot coming out of the break using splits. I'm trying to use as many of the larger samples as I can. Yeah, Twins have hit lefties, so maybe you're going to get that. And the Cubs versus righties down the stretch, we were talking about the Cubs really up and down also. A lot of their stats on the overall look really strong, but it's the lefty splits kind of carrying the day. I think I like the Twins here and Taj Bradley. I think the offenses may even be a wash. And I think I like Bradley, at least in the short set. I'm kind of liking this. Looks like we're around plus 118, plus 20. For the F5, the Twins bullpen is such fucking hot ass low. If I'm not mistaken, they've actually produced as of late. Getting a closer helps, and Gomez is good but not great. I don't really trust the Cubs pen. I mean, maybe we can go to play this one. Full game. What's that price look like? You're not really getting much of a bonus. Bradley sometimes does get the quick hook. So I'm going to go Twins F5 with the plus money. I'm kind of digging that one. You get that on the old show sheet, and we moving on. Next up, Davis Martin on the bump for the White Sox. They're on the road north of the border to face Shane Bieber Fever, driving all the Canadian girls wild. Maple-scented panties on the fucking stage. Bieber has not found the groove. Not sure why they're listed at minus 103. Davis Martin, one of kind of our guys. The lesser known, productive pitchers that maybe just don't get enough respect. 341 ERA, pretty good, and that's on a pretty high BABIP. The homer fly ball rate probably going to regress in the wrong direction, but that's how you do it. He keeps the ball down. Very few hard hit balls, doesn't get barreled. Just a half a homer nine through 100 innings, man. 6 homers in 100 innings. And the Blue Jay offense is just okay. White Sox offense has been a lot of fun. I don't know why I'm really buying this. You could see in the splits, Bieber's really just struggled wildly. I guess Martin's done his better pitching at the crib. And maybe the last 30 days a little meh. However, I want to see this up close and personal. I feel like he's been a blow-up guy. Not that blow-ups are good, or that you could scratch him off the record. But a blow-up here or there should not spoil the full sample the way that I think we allow it when we use that. He gave up 5 in the last one, and the Yankees kind of crushed him earlier on, but he's been really good. There's a lot more good than bad here. And home runs, like I said, hardly an issue. 3 of those 6 home runs against the Yankees in like a fucking 3 in outing. So I'm surprised here. I think Martin is the better pitcher today than Bieber. And I think the White Sox offense is better than the Blue Jays. The White Sox bullpen has also been really good. I'm not sure why we wouldn't like the Sox to win it here, just kind of price checking. It's minus 118 both ways. So yeah, give me the White Sox to win it as a, I don't know, you call it a slight favorite, like a minimal favorite. Next up, Rhett Lauder on the bump for the Red Legs, minus 113 on the road in the altitude against Tomoyuki Sagano and the Rockies. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Again, I like every so often, again, I should be doing this, but every so often, I just like to be very clear about the model. Transparency is very important to me, right? It doesn't tell the future, we know this. But I have to handle weather, and I try and anchor it to sports books. That's why I use the emoji. It's so I made an adjustment. If you still think it's short and you want to keep going, by all means, but you've been warned. So there's always a, Coors tax. It's also, I had the sun emoji up, so it's going to be in the high 80s. And I'm still short. The total is at 13. I couldn't get it to 13. I'm at like 11 and a half, which I guess says those are the games that run. I don't know how to handle this. To me, I've been saying this a lot, though. I haven't been able to put it into practice where I can actually push the theory forward. But I really think you should be betting these games on Prize Picks and Underdog or fucking Drafters Fantasy or wherever you can parlay same game shit without getting your ass handed to you. Drafters in particular doesn't even have a penalty for same game. You could go 4 and people in the same game, 2 on each side at a tenfold, rather than bet 1.10 units to win 1 unit on the over. You could get 11 4-player parlays mixed in every fucking direction. Where shit, man, you telling me you're going to get the 13 runs without hitting 1 or 2 of them? Maybe. But that's how I would do it. I don't really trust Lauder. I don't trust Sagano. I don't like the bullpens. And both offenses, are very talented. So I would just save my fucking money. Next up, Shorman and I on the bump for the Let's Go Mets Go. They're pretty heavy underdogs on the road in Philly to face the Jesus Lizard and the Fightin' Phils. Quick look at the pitching. Minaya, it's been brutal. And just a couple years ago, was it San Fran? Where he was looking really good. Then he came over to the Mets and was producing. Right now, nothing for the Mets seems to be working. The swing and miss has completely disappeared. And that's just not going to work, man. He's basically throwing batting practice right now where Luzardo's been shoving. He's another blow-up guy. But the overwhelming majority of his sample is still really strong. Plus tons of ground balls. And we knew the homer fly ball was going to regress. He's also suffering at a 330 BABIP for extremely low hard hit rates. Jesus Lizard is fucking really good. However, he's really struggled at home for whatever that's worth if you're into that kind of thing. Now, I do tend to look at it because I quote it, but I don't really model it. For me, it's more of a kind of coin flip thing or an outlier thing. But it's really been stark. Again, it's the blow-ups have happened at home. Philly is a good place to hit. Do you trust the Mets against lefties? That's the part I'm not 100% sold on. Let's go year-to-date versus lefties. Mets have been maybe a little bit better in the power department, but neither team has produced. Philly's been a really rough split against lefties all year. That said, I still think they get this one done because I think Lazardo fucking shoves. Maybe the sharper plays to an under here. But that's where the model is. As I was told, I didn't look first. So I've got the Phillies for a win, though minus 170 is pricey. I've got them bordered on a run line cover. Right, 3/4 of a run. That's when you could start to look for that cover. But again, I think the strongest hit I have is on the under. Now, both of these bullpens really kind of struggled down the stretch to wrap up the second half, and that's where I'm kind of on the fence. If I'd rather play for the pitchers to pitch strong, go under the 4.5 first 5 minus 115. Or take the minus 105, you 8.5. Lazardo can go deep. Minaya, I'm not so sure. And the bullpens have been really good. I was talking about yesterday, I was talking about trying to lean towards bullpens bigger sample to define them in the second half. No, fucking did not work fucking yesterday at all. Oh my god, it was just the fucking worst. But, you got to be objective at least in your process to help you correct it. I don't want to get away from that, but that really fucking sucked. We really thought the Padres pen had really struggled. We thought they were correct. They didn't. Astros bullpen has been the fucking nut hand. They fucking coughed it up. What a fucking disgrace. That fucking sucked, man. And Mason Miller loaded the bases with no outs and they got out of it. Obviously, you're getting a fucking chub at that point. You think you're going to win. And, we just did not. We did nothing of the fucking sort. So I'm going to put some kind of under, but to be honest, I'm on the fence. And also, if you've noticed, there haven't been many totals on the ticket. And it's with good reason because I'm fucking scared. As soon as that news came out with the ball jumping as we hit the hot weather, man, I've been really worried about challenging unders because a lot of times I want to look back. Don't look back in anger, right? You don't want to look back and be fucking pissed. So I went under, in a hitting environment when it's a fucking low 80s. Not too fucking sharp. Just not too sharp. Right? That's the thing. You're killing yourself. It's like going under in cores. You feel like you know better if it blows up. So maybe the Phillies are like a pair piece. I do think they get it done. Next up, winged line, Griffin Canning on the bump for the Friar Tucks. They're minus 117 on the road. I had Noah Cameron. It's going to be really hot in Kansas City, by the way. I had Cameron. Someone hit me up and said they were talking about, who the fuck were they talking about? Randy Dobnak? I don't know what the fuck happened there. I mean, we've seen Dobnak. He's a real contact guy. I'll re-rack this or whatever. I don't think we've seen much from him. Doesn't really change my opinion that I think we're looking for scoring or nothing. If anything, it probably bumps up the San Diego scoring here. This total is at 11. I'm under. Once we make the adjustment, we're probably going to be a bit closer, and I think I'm out. Canning has really struggled against lefties. I would expect to have that pairing. You could see Jack Caggs and Carter Jensen as like a hit-run ribby pair. You know what? Let me remove the Padres because Cameron is a lefty. I'm sure there'll be some. I'll replace it, but I'll re-rack this game again. We're it's over or nothing. I'm not going to play for 12 runs. Don't expect me to do it, but this is where you want to do your prize picks, do your parlay picks, and you're focusing on DFS and shit, right? You're backloading the back half of these lineups with all your fucking cheap pieces. Again, Kansas City bullpen is stone cold fucking worst. Just out of curiosity, I guess we could check the team totals before we move on. They're both at 5.5. It's like, whatever. Next up, Dustin May on the bump for the Cardinals. They're even money on the road in the desert to face Brandon Pfaadt, who's been really fucking good since he returned, and the Diamondbacks. Okay, so a couple quick things here on kind of a macro level. Okay, one is, okay, just wanted to be rad. Pfaadt's been awesome. I wanted to make sure I wasn't misframed. Okay, so the total here at 5-9 was where it's getting at, is really bothering me. I mentioned anchoring the model somewhat to the books. Early in the year, I was talking about our decoupling, right? We were losing in the initial combines, and that was the thing that took us over the top, was actually breaking the chain from the book. I will adjust for weather and environment. That's a totally different story. That's point number one that I wanted to make. If we're modeling or gauging Arizona as an optimal environment, I think you got it wrong. It's been bottom 5 across the board in all the rate stats. While they have the roof up, it's just a fucking park. So I couldn't adjust it any further. We are way under, and I'm always a little bit uncomfortable, right? I'm not the type to say, oh, we're under, books are stupid, and, we are so smart. SMRT. But I looked, I double looked, I counted, I fucking double checked, and we're way under. May's been awesome. Again, the last 30 days has the returns for him. He was hurt, then had the breakage and the return, whatever. Pfaadt has been straight up good, and I'm not sure why the market is giving so much credit to both teams. I mean, last 30 days, though it does include the All-Star break, we're talking over 650 plate appearances for both. Neither has hit more than 230 against righties. Neither has a slug over 335, an OPS over 630, an ISO over 110, ground ball rate under 44, barrel rate over 7, or ex-WOBA over 306. I mean, you shouldn't be looking for scoring here. Bullpens are probably the hang-up. Jojo Romero also down for the Cardinals, and he was one of their bright spots. So though I've been talking lately about trying to focus more on full game bets than F5 when it comes to totals, right? Trying to avoid that one inning blowing up the F5, but the whole game still going under. I think I do want the first 5 here because it's 5. And we saw how these, bad bullpen games can fucking spin out of control. So I've been trying to avoid going under, like I just mentioned, but I'm so far under. If we're not going to bet the under F5 on this one, like, what the fuck are we doing here? I should just erase the algo and kind of guess, So I'm going to be on this under and like holding my nose to do it. I mean, again, with the fucking hot weather, we've seen blow-up games. How many teams scored in the double digits yesterday? Next up, Ian Seymour, my boy, going for the flat fucking fish of Florida. This is another one. I really struggled with this one. Excuse me. Rays on the road, even money in Fenway to face Patrick Sandoval. Like, I guess he pitched really good. But, man, are we really buying, like, Sandoval's return? 29. He's never really been great. And what did he give us? One. He gave you a really good start in return. Went 4 1/3 against the White Sox. Just gave up 1, walked 1, struck out 5. I remember we had the antenna up because the rehab was so fucking good. He shoved in that rehab. Boston is a team that we trust with the R&D. Maybe they really saw something they like with Sandoval. So I do kind of have the antenna up. But that said, I don't think Ian Seymour and the Rays should be an underdog here. I know Boston's doing this fucking sun run. I don't give a shit. That means literally less than nothing to me. So I think I got the Rays to win this one. Let's skip to the end with the bullpens. Rays bullpen's been good. The runs we don't care about. Boston's bullpen has been the real carrying tool. And you know what? Maybe we want this one at 5 also. The anticipation being Sandoval not going to give you that distance. Though I kind of want him in the hook inning, right? That 6th inning. Man, you could see on the board. Seymour's disciplinary stuff has been out of control. He's been like fucking ace-like. And all of a sudden we're buying Boston offense. If you are, I don't think I am versus lefties, man. Let's bring up the Boston lefty stuff. Oh, sorry, hold on. Year-to-date Boston lefties. I'm a little off my game today with the splits all fucked up. I mean, they've hit for average. They've gotten some barrels. It's better than I thought, but it's not great. Rays versus lefties has been the weak split for sure. It really has. Man, I don't know. So, I mentioned Rays feeling like a bit of a misprice. Also on the under, however, right? This one gets the but. Big, shaking, sopping, wet ass. Yum. Do you see the double wind emoji? I got like 20-mile-an-hour winds. So just to be very clear, that's what there's a little key, right? The sun is in the high 80s. The wind is generally 9, 10. Out. Double is like 17, 18. I don't know. I know Seymour has been in the air a little bit, and maybe that's the reason for the season. I don't know. I'm just calling bullshit on it. I think we've jumped the shark a little bit. I think that 5.5 should probably be a 5. I think the 9.5, it should be a 9, and that's even me capitulating to the wind. Again, I wish these games were played in a controlled environment. It would be much easier for me to model. I understand wind, weather have an impact, but they are much harder to quantify. So when I have a doubt there, I try and be more honest about not trying to ITB the thing I don't understand, where the wind affects both teams equally, and with that, I think the Rays fucking win this one. So I guess I'm calling BS on the Boston win streak. If we can get Tampa with the pitching edge at even money, maybe call it a wash on the offense. I'm gonna take it. Mackenzie Gore on the bump for the Rangers. They're right around even money also on the road against Owen Murphy and the Braves. I had to bring up the Murphy stuff. I didn't really know much about him. He's a fucking young kid, man. 22-year-old righty. First round pick in 2022. 20th overall. So a little bit of shine here. Braves with their expectations up. Playoff situation is like wide open on both sides. The sample is really small for Murphy, and he's been good in the minors, not great. There's been some control and home run issues. Those are the things I worry about the most. He did pitch a week ago, gave you 3 basically perfect innings. Yeah, 3 perfect innings. Faced the minimum with 3 strikeouts. I mean, that's pretty encouraging. Threw 47 pitches. Maybe you get a little bit extra. Not sure how far. I doubt you're going to get 5 innings. So it looks like he goes 4-seamer first. This feels like it's a lot of 4-seamers. I mean, 60% 4-seamers. Good spin, decent extension. Did get some whiffs. Shape is okay. I don't love this. Changeup looks like a pretty good pitch. We like the difference in velocity. Then he steps down all the way to 80 off of 94, right? 94, 87, and 80. The sample's a little small to me quoting the whiffs. It looks like he was a little bit lucky on the contact. Again, very small sample. But the changeup had a 942 X-lug, which is like home run territory, and it had a 0 and a 499 XBA, and the BA was 0. So, again, all this is small stuff, but I almost walked into it. Oh, shit, first round pick, face the minimum. If you were going to get regression, this is what it looks like to me. And as much as I like Mackenzie Gore, he's been impossible to back on the road all year. I mentioned I'm not the big home run guy, but if you were, I mean, it's been like the absolute correct answer. You know? Sorry, I am dying right now. I think I like the over. It's probably not going to be a sexy pick. Atlanta started to hit yesterday. We were hoping maybe they would come out the box looking good. Those lefty splits are not great. The Texas offensive stuff is also not great. Man, I didn't realize the total was at 9 because it's going to be a fucking million degrees down in Atlanta. I'm off this one. I'm off. My gut says Gore should not be an underdog to this kid. But if they duke it out, it's hard not to like the Atlanta bullpen over Texas's. So let's call Murphy a name to watch. But the totals are a little bit too high for me at 5 and 9. Next up, my boy Max Meyer on the bump for the mighty Marlins of Miami. Alliteration aside, as a plus 112 dog, they're down in Cheesetown to face my boy Sugar Shane Rohan and the Beer Makers. Another game I kind of leaning under here on the full game. I really like both bullpens. I've struggled to believe in both offenses from what we got in the first half. And I like both of the arms in this one. Max Meyer's been fucking awesome. 258, 111 ERA whip combo. Indicators all in place. Command control, swing and miss, gets ahead. Ground balls in the yard, just 11 home runs in 188 innings. Meyer's been the fucking truth, man. This is what it looks like. Good at home, good on the road, shoving last 30, getting better as the season goes. Marlins also starting to compete and becoming very believable with the pitching R&D. That shit matters. Same for Milwaukee when they traded for Drohan. I had the ears up, was banging the drum for draft and hold, long term kind of formats. And he's really delivered. So I kind of like both of these teams a lot today. The Miami lefty splits are whack. They're terrible. Just entirely too patient. Too many ground balls. 299 ex-WOBA on the season through 933 plate appearances. Probably implies 3.25 runs. So not looking great. Milwaukee offense, I've had trouble backing them. It's been all discipline. They're, again, very passive. But Meyer is a strike, zone filler, right? Strike thrower, swing and miss getter. And for all the good disciplinary numbers from Milwaukee, they have actually struck out. And that can happen when you're too passive, right? You get behind, and then you just have to offer that shit. You have no choice, right? 0-2 counts are never going to be good. And that's the best case against being passive, right? Passivity is good when you're not chasing, which they don't. And you could take walks, which they do. But if you notice, it is single digits, again, compared to that elevated K rate relatively, because the damage is not really there. So yeah, I think I'm leaning pretty firmly to the under. Marlins bullpen has been believable since they returned Fairbanks the last time. Milwaukee's also been believable since reinstalling McGill into that role. So I don't generally go under 8s often, but I absolutely think this is one of them. I would love to get 4.5 on the F5, but I don't think that's a thing. So I'm going to mark this one Miami, Milwaukee, full game under 8, but you're getting a pretty good price. I think runs are going to be at a premium. This one feels like a playoff kind of feel. Though I do want to mention one thing. And it's again, we just don't have a name for it. Those plays where one team has a 3.5 team total, the orange box. The other team doesn't, Milwaukee. Yet the favorite is at a minus 135 or better, which we have here. I almost can't remember another time where we didn't like the favorite in a spot. Model likes the Marlins to win. And that feels kind of tempting to me, just on its face. If you've been following along, anytime we have these situations, and I'm done talking through it, we almost always are on the favorite with the disparity in the bookmaking, baseline team total. But this one, not so much, man. This one, not so much. All right, next up. Also, I think I got a little bit of a misprice here. My boy Trevor Rogers on the bump for the Baltimore Orioles. It's minus 110 both ways against Spencer Arrighetti and Meatballs and the Astros. I mean, I'm not going to bury the lead. Model just not buying this at all. Rogers feels like he's reassumed that, top end trajectory that we got last year. Yeah, he struggled out of the box, but now it's been quite a while. And he's shoving, right? It hasn't been like just okay. Rogers has been great. Check out the game log. So I'm not sure why Arrighetti kind of going in the other direction. Jeez Louise, he's been fucking incredible. Since June, Trevor Rogers running 41 2/3. He has a 1.73 ERA. He has a 1.01 WHIP. I mean, he's been a strike throwing machine. This is, again, what we were hoping for. We could pop the hood. We want him getting whiffs on the four-seamer, which he is. He's getting whiffs on the changeup, which he is. He's getting whiffs on the sweeper, which he is. I mean, this is the version of Trevor Rogers that we want back. Meanwhile, Arrighetti's been falling apart last 30 days. Arrighetti's been much better at home. But that's what this handicap feels like. How do you grade these offenses out? Houston has not hit lefties at all this season. Baltimore, I guess, has struggled at points. But are we over here saying we love the Astros over the Orioles? I'm not fucking saying that shit. So, yeah, give me T-Raj. Minus 110, quick bullpen check. Baltimore's held it down. And Rogers can get you 7. Houston offense, far from impressive. I got Baltimore with a clean win at 110. If I had more balls, I'd probably be sliding in a fucking chunk on the run line. I bet you it's a delicious fucking price. Yeah, plus 155. I think Baltimore kills them today. I'm not an Arrighetti guy. Next up, it's game 2 of the doubleheader. We'll get back to it. Logan Webslinger and the Gigantes, they're on the bump in a PN dub to face Brian Wu, the Nature Boy, and the Mariners, minus 136. For the Mariners, this offense is completely decimated. It doesn't look like they're going to get back Julio Rodriguez either. I mean, I'm modeled for a win. But again, I'm getting a nudge from the fucking model because we're at a quarter of a run difference, which is a tough pill to swallow at minus 135 with a quality arm like Webb on the mound. Webb he looked like he was turning it around and then kind of unturned it around. Where Wu is one of the best kind of home pitchers in the league. My gut tells me this is the Seattle bounce back after getting kind of shellacked yesterday. But fuck, man. It's hard. To back the Seattle offense, I've got them highlighted on the board last 670 plate appearances against righties. I mean, it's not a small sample. This is horrendous. Bottom 5 chase, bottom 5 average, bottom 3 homers. Bottom 5 barrel, just absolutely stinky. So maybe this one feels like an under, but the book kind of beat us there. It's at 3.5 and 7. This feels like a against my better judgment pick, which is the wrong way to go about it, especially when we're defaulting to the favorite. But fuck, man, I really like Wu in this spot. I want to bet him whenever he's home. I really do. I want to bet Wu whenever he's at home. I was hoping on the F5 you'd get maybe a little more of a discount. You're not. It's minus 145. So right now I'm putting Seattle to win. Fuck, man. Getting Brian Wu at minus 135 at home just feels like a play that I want. But damn, needing the Mariners to score a run is like trying to pass a massive fucking cantaloupe-sized kidney stone. Next up, Emmett Sheehan on the bump for the Trolley Dodgers, leaving Hollywood in the Boogie Down Bronx face Ryan Weathers and the Janks. I don't know. I struggled with this one because the wind's going to be blowing out. We know how Yankee Stadium can play up. Plus, both offenses are good. And as much as I like Ryan Weathers, I think his struggles at home are understood. His style of pitching, I'm not sure that's really jiving when you're getting weather. Oh, what an idiot I am. I'm sorry. I really am. So the worry with Weathers is, of course, the bad four-seamer and the way that the Dodgers hit lefties. Now, he's not been terrible, but Sheen is a tough customer also on a per-inning basis. Problem there is going to be the way the Yankees are striking out, swing and miss, which has been Sheen's game. He's up to a 14.5 swing and strike, nearly 38 chase. We're getting to that like Prince that was promised territory, where the top side for Sheen is fucking awesome. He has not really been able to put it together. My gut feeling tells me over or nothing. But once I adjusted for the wind blowing out, I ended up kind of on the nose with everything. So this one feels like a little bit of a fade to me. All right, let's just push it up. Next up, Zach Littell on the bump for the Nacionals. Oh my God. Thank goodness we didn't go under yesterday. But another perfect example of how, although if I'm not mistaken, it was close to the under. I think it was 4-2. The under was 5.5. So it was a loser. The Nats scored 23. Holy shit. Again, you know what? How these ballparks can play up in the crazy weather. So Littell, I don't know. He's been ass. I tend to like JT Ginn. But again, this game's in Sacramento with the wind blowing out. And it's always hot. It's not in the high 80s, but it's in the low 80s, I think. So I don't know, man. Jen's actually been okay at home. It's very hard to pitch there. And Littell had done his better pitching on the road because his home park is so difficult. This might as well be like pitching at home. So I don't know. It's a fucking disaster again. The minus 125 for the A's feels like a strong play. But I just can't bring myself to challenge the Nats in a strong spot like this. You can see they've hit righties, they've hit lefties, they've hit fucking everyone. The Nats have just been a wagon on fucking offense. And it feels like such a shame to have such horrible pitching surrounding it. But what can you do? Bullpen also total ass for the Nats. Yeah, I don't know. I want to back Ginn in the A's. I really do, but you know, again, I have them separated by like a tenth of a run, and you got to pay minus 125, and you got to face the Nats offense. So, strongest play on the board is probably over the 10.5. I've got both teams modeled over 5. So, a case where 5 plus 5 equals 11. But if you follow my work at all, I can't remember ever posting an 10. I just don't do it. 10.5 I have. 10.5 I have. I don't usually go over the flat 11 and need 12, but I hate even needing fucking 11. I really do. I hate needing 11 runs. If anyone can get you there, it'll be this one. I just have a really hard time backing an offense. Right, this is a load-busting argument. Right? The Nats splooged, and you know they need a nap. You can't after 23 runs. Like, what the fuck else can you do? So today's slate's pretty ugly. Everybody should just go hang out and touch some fucking plants, man. Go touch plants. Next up, Tariq Scooble-Dooble-Doo. They're on the bump as minus 195 favorites. Tigers, that is on the road in LA to face Grayson Rodriguez and the Halos. Man, that was a fucking sharp yesterday. Grayson, I'm not buying that shit at all. Scooble's been good. We'd imagine he's going to get better every time as well. And I don't think we trust the Angels versus lefties. They've hit for some power. Maybe you get some people looking to fade Scoobs. I wonder what the team total for the Angels is. 3.5, but it's plus money. I was hoping for 2.5. I don't know. I'm probably a donkey here. and I think it's Tigers run line, but it's got a minus in front of it. I generally try not to pay any kind of juice to need a win. I guess it's because we're at home and we're going to get the ninth frame. I'm a little bit worried. Imagine after all the warnings I've given over small samples I put in yesterday's one game. But I worry so much when the Tigers seem to bottom out. It's like a fucking the worst. It's just belly up, just absolute disgrace. But do you trust Grayson? I don't trust Grayson at all. He's been horrendous, and he cannot get outs at the crib. 9.6 ERA with a 2+ whip, single-digit KBB. I got to think the Tigers get to him, right? Right? But you could see the Tigers' offense is ass because they strike out too much. I don't know. Fuck, man. Totals at 4 and 8. I mean, because of Scooble. I don't know. I'm on the fence. Sorry, I don't got a lot. Got shit for you, man. I got shit for you, man. So I think that'll do it for the nighttime stuff. We could do the doubleheader really quickly. Let's just jump through the comments really quick. Yo, I appreciate everybody. Love to see some new names. We got Jagfish. What's going on, everybody? Plus Sama. Of course. Good to see as always. Jack says, Maple Panties has to be a Canadian strip club, babe. Yeah, sticky when wet. The sticky rose. The first couple rows. Make it fucking sticky. Yo. Trev, good to see you. Of course, the nose. Got to get mine. Yo, Adonis, what's going on, kiddo? B Rose, you're the man. Appreciate you, of course, bro. You know what I mean. You are just one of us. Yo.
What is your profession?
Yeah, no shit, man. And Jay Main, good to see you, kiddo. Yo, Josh, man. I mean, you put it in the chat so people see it. And, if everybody just wants to send out love to our guy, Josh, dude, going by the end of that, I don't think any sorries are owed. But, life comes at you fast. And I hate saccharine shit. Don't worry, everything will be okay. Obviously, life ends one way. But I do think being positive and having that drive decision-making works. No matter what, right? We're about putting ourselves in the best probabilistic situation. And I think that works for baseball, betting baseball, and real life. And I'm not saying put on a fake smile. You accept what is, right? And let it roll. Carrying grief and resent and anguish and, man, those things, they fester. That's the word. They rot and they fucking fester and get worse. And, if you got little ones and shit, there's other people. If you're a dad out there, people rely on us, man. And again, it's not about bottling it. It's about, I talk about just real quick. We talk about the pressure valve, which is why one mistake I had back in the day getting into high leverage derivatives trading and sports betting professionally, it was trying to be too stoic. I care about nothing. I lose sometimes, and I care about nothing. And though that sounds good on paper, it's not realistic. We're all people, and you're gonna have days like yesterday, and sometimes a day like yesterday where even it was funny, we ended up a touch plus money bets worked, but where everything seemingly goes wrong, it's easy to allow that to really affect you. And I realize that you shouldn't be saying, I don't care. You should be saying, I do care, and I recognize the realness of this moment and the emotion, and that I feel like I am sad. I feel grief. This is real. But I also know I control the forward process. So shout out you and your wife. I hate bashing people with religion and spiritual shit because I don't think you ever convince anybody by browbeating them. I think you convince people by shining a light, right? Being a good example. right? And that's what I try and be, and in my real life also. I really do. I think it aggravates my wife when I talk about doing the right thing all the time. But I try and do the right thing all the time. Shout out my dad. You know what I'm saying? He's best guy you're ever gonna know, and that's what we want to be, right? Me to you, and you to your friends and children and such. So, Mr. Williams, good to see you as well. Good morning. But yeah, Josh, we love you, man. And shout out to her, and hopefully you beat this, because these things can be beatable. Yeah, she says, I take it one day at a time. It's part of life, and always try and stay positive. And then also, kiddo, if I can ever help at all, shout out your boy. I got you 24/7. You hit me up. I give you my fucking personal number and shit, dude. I'm here for you guys. You know what I mean? All right, let's do just the doubleheader really quick. Sorry to get too sad, but I think that's what the show should be about also, right? Because we're talking about thinking, right? Yeah, baseball and betting on it happens to be at the lodestar, right, of this. It's the fucking center point of this conversation. But the real truth of it, right, and the truth of the brand is, again, thinking about how we think and how we're supposed to be conducting ourselves. I have to say, I'm not like saying you need to I tell anus jokes, but I mean, as far as work ethic and as far as projecting, but I go pray and meditate. And I think if you're not into prayer, I think meditation is the best fucking advice I have for anybody. It really is incredible stuff. You should look up mindfulness meditation. It changed my life. I was a psychopath. I guess I still am a psychopath, but it helps to slow things down a little bit. All right, first one. So yesterday we got Jared Jones on the bump against Gavin Williams. I like the Pirates as a dog. Yesterday, I like Gavin too. I think Pittsburgh has the offense. Winds blowing in, though it's going to be hot. Maybe like a bit of a mixed signal. Probably scoring at a premium, though the total's at 4 and 7.5. I don't know if I'm going to actually bet this one early, but I have Pittsburgh and I think they win this one. The one later on is, thank you so much, by the way, Nose. Last 5 minutes is a great example. I think this is the best baseball show around. Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't want to go too far into that stuff. It aggravates people. And I got it. Some people look for the pure entertainment value. But to me, that is entertaining. Getting better is entertaining. That's what I want, man. You know what I'm saying? So the second one is the game that I wanted to focus on. I'm looking for a confirmation. Okay, I'm going to do it. I try not to do it. Yeah, Jamie says, dude, Gavin Williams at home is a fucking beast. He's also really good. This is maybe, what I don't bet also that I feel like this might be? Maybe this is a Guardian team total under. Right? That's a bet I don't make a lot. They're under 3.5 minus 110. Because I don't really want to challenge Gavin. I don't. Now, the next one, I hate to do this. But after all that seriousness, let's have a little bit of fun. Here comes your Vegas Dave 1 million unit mega whale lock. Carrying a pink fucking handbag in front of a private jet. Wearing, fucking Ferragamo loafers without fucking socks. Take the second mortgage out for this one. Can somebody, anybody, explain to me how Braxton Ashcraft is not a massive favorite to fucking Logan Allen? What? So, just really quick, we gotta give our props to fucking Kyle. If anybody is a Source Network person, tag Kyle and tell how the fuck did he know that shit. He said on the stream that was with him that he was like, I hope that the Pirates kind of lose this first game out, right? Because we did the Thursday night show talking about Friday, the game got delayed. I mentioned Jared Jones. I thought they had a chance to pull it out with the offense through 9, which is fine. He was disagreeing, and his point was, I hope the Pirates lose. So Ashcraft gets posted at some ridiculous price, and we're going to slam the fuck out of it. And me, of course, again, where he is so in touch with the market. He's very good with that. I was like, I don't know if that's going to happen, bro, Seth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, big fella. No fucking shit, man. Honestly, I hate to even I hate I hate IK being the fucking market. And I normally don't go too deep into these doubleheaders, you know. Yo, Logan Allen is not good. And Braxton Ashcraft is awesome. And we have the offensive edge by a mile. Now, where I think maybe this gets a little bit of like sticky wickets is I would love to bet the F5 in this one, but you can't. It's not listed. Well, you know what? That was my bookie. I wonder if MGM listed the first five. MGM did list the first five. Yo, you can get Braxton Ashcraft first five -110 over Logan Allen. The reason I mentioned first five, I don't like to bet the second game of a doubleheader early without the information of the bullpen, right? The Pirates could use up all their guys to get the first win and leave us hanging. If Soto and fucking what's his name, Santana or whatever, if all these, the good guy, Montgomery, whatever, who the fuck is out there, if all these guys throw 30 fucking pitches and they're going to be unavailable, that will and should, could, and would affect the money line. But the first five is good. So give me like, I can't wait for this to lose. This is my mega whale fucking lock of the absolute fucking century is Braxton Ashcraft first five in game two. Remember, in game two. So, all right, that'll do it. Appreciate everybody. Sorry for getting a little bit mushy, but we got to shout out, you know, our people when we're out there, man. Josh is up in here every fucking day, supporting the show, seeing the name, helping people out. You know, man, there's some of you people I feel like I owe, right? Walking people through bats and how to take different looks and stuff like that. So you guys are the fucking best, man. Just the absolute best. So that'll do it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I should have time to do the fantasy episode yesterday. I want to see these new kind of second half lineups and stuff. Call ups and whatnot. People were expecting. I'm doing pretty good in fantasy. I played one NFBC auction championship. I prefer auction over snake in all fantasy because, right, I like our ability to look at values and fucking gauge and bid and shit like that. Now I'm in the top 150 overall, second in my league. My boy Zach, man, I got to root for my boy. He's in the top 10 overall. If I'm not going to get it, I hope he wins overall. But I want to push, you know, and just kind of represent the brand. We're kicking ass in fucking basketball, and hopefully some of that shit will keep up. So shout out and prayers up for Josh and his wife and fam, yo, into thoughts and prayers. When I hit mass this weekend, I'm going to light a candle for you all. The rest of you, hit up some mindfulness meditation. Go check it out right now on YouTube. Put in mindfulness meditation. There's a bunch of really short videos. Maybe you take a walk. Maybe you sit around with your eyes closed and think about focusing on your breathing. And maybe you learn to stop holding yourself accountable for thoughts, right? Once you learn the science of thinking, we can quite literally prove, right, that you're not responsible for thoughts. They actually, it's very strange when you get into like the consciousness behind the eyes, right? The person behind the eye, we think of ourselves as like people driving behind our fucking head. Who is the internal dialogue with, right? Who is that with? Where does that sperm come from? So it's almost like a bubbling volcano, and you don't get upset about the bubbles. You have to you let shit roll. And I think when you learn to laugh at thoughts or let them roll rather than, you know, hold yourself accountable for things that really don't matter, life gets a little bit easier, and you learn maybe to not hold on to some of that grief, and you learn to kind of, you know, build rather than destroy. I know for me, it's helped me. We've always had a good relationship, and it's really helped me strengthen my relationships with my entire family. You know, calling mom and dad every fucking day, text them out of nowhere you love them, calling my sisters, calling my friends, calling people I haven't spoken to in a long time, and just apologize. You say, listen, man, like, I'm sorry I haven't kept up my end. I know life can pull you apart, but I love you, and I think about you, and my life is better when we have a positive, you know, thing going. And I think if everybody takes on that attitude and surrounds himself with people that have that attitude, you realize a lot of the negativity on social media and the arguing and the seething and the fucking hissing, it's all kind of meaningless. It really is. Not only does it not matter, it's not reality, and you learn to pity those people for wasting their precious consciousness on negativity. Right, so that's about a good adolescent. Yo, Josh, right? Yo, you and I simpatico. Life's too short to not be positive. That's the truth. And plus, the negativity it does not help. It cannot help you. it not only does it doesn't help, it cannot help, it only makes things worse. It really is like, it's a habit that I challenge every one of you. I challenge every one of you to try and break. I don't know if I can email you. I don't know if I have your address. DM me, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'll talk to you in a little bit. And yeah, that'll do it. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. I hope you enjoyed the Tony Robbins edition of the fucking episode. Please don't unsubscribe and subscribe. And if you find it in your heart, don't be a cheap bitch. Pay for this shit, man. $2 a week. Get you 5 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box. Support good people doing good work. Remember, when you work this freaking hard, winning feels a lot